Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. The Sunday Satsang, June 25th, 2023, Radha Kunda, and questions and answers. If we have any questions and answers, or questions, not too many people here today, but anyway, everybody's important. Any questions? Yeah, list of questions there? Okay, let's hear it.
Maharaj, there are so many things written in Shastra and told by sadhus about how our lifestyle should be, the rules and regulations. Maharaj, I just read them and listen them, but the things do not remain in my consciousness continuously. I do what I want to do, even after knowing what is wrong and right. Maharaj, why do these things happen to us, and how can we overcome this?
Question is, I read about Bhakti Bhajan and Shastras, and it tells various rules and regulations that one should adopt to make it more favorable for practicing bhakti. But even after reading about them, I don't have determination or desire to follow that way of life. Is that the answer? Or what? So, what do I do? Well, following rules and regulations comes after you're convinced that you want to love and serve Krishna. So the most important thing, rules and regulations comes after. That's called Abhidheya practice. First you have to study and learn about Krishna. All the Shastras say you should be a vegetarian to practice yoga, because the mind has to be sattvic to practice yoga. So Bhakti Bhajan, we should be vegetarian and don't drink and smoke and take drugs and all these things. We should have pure life and pure behavior and live a sattvic life. It makes it more favorable and positive for doing Bhakti Bhajan. So we should have enough intelligence to understand that much. There's so many other rules and regulations, but that's the primary one, to live a pure life, pure eating and pure thinking and pure activity. If you can't do that, then it's going to be impossible to practice any kind of yoga. So if you don't have the strength to follow the basics of bhakti sadhana, you have to pray to Krishna for strength and keep reading about Krishna's glories and keep reading about Krishna's greatness, and eventually you get convinced by reading Bhagavatam and 11th canto, 1st canto, and Gita, and other books of the Goswamis. You get strength and intelligence. Intelligence controls the mind, mind controls the senses. So unless the intelligence is strong with spiritual knowledge, you won't be able to follow rules and regulations. It comes by conviction. So conviction comes by philosophical wisdom. So you have to study. That's why it says in Bhakti Progress, it says the first thing is Shravanam, hearing about Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, and many other chapters, and throughout the Bhagavad Gita, it says just transcendental knowledge itself purifies the heart, destroys sins. So just by studying, you're getting your heart purified. You're getting free from anarthas and aparadhas just by studying spiritual wisdom. That's the power of spiritual knowledge, because it's transcendental. So eventually you get conviction has to come in your intelligence before you can act. Controlling senses, following rules and regulations, yama niyama. That's everywhere. Yoga has 8 steps. First is yama niyama, and then asana, then pranayama, then pratyahara, then dhyana, then dharana, then dhyana, jnana, smriti, then samadhi. So every type of yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, And Bhakti Yoga has these ideas, has these practices. So without sattva gun, without some pure behavior, we can't go forward in bhakti. Because we always slip into Maya and not get any resolve. Krishna tells in Gita, if you're not resolute in your purpose, then you won't be successful. One is too attached to opulence, material enjoyment, and opulent lifestyle, can't be very successful in bhakti, generally speaking. Because these things take one away from serving Krishna into enjoying. But we have a history in Gaudiya Vaisnava of some very opulent, wealthy people like Pandavas. Pandavas were millionaires, billionaires, they were kings, but they were pure devotees of Krishna. So it's possible, but Gita says generally too much opulence and wealth takes one away from serving Krishna. The story is there in the Bhagavatam of Nala Kuvara Managriva. They were sons of Kuvara. They were very rich guys. They were playboy demigods. And they liked to enjoy. They had so much money, they didn't care for Naramuni. They just were enjoying women naked in a river, Mandakini River. And they didn't show any respect for Naramuni. So he cursed them to become trees. So because of opulence, they didn't take up Bhakti Bhajan. But when they got punished, then they got humbled, then they took up Bhakti Bhajan. So opulence generally is an impediment. But sometimes we see that someone has high consciousness and Krishna consciousness, he can be surrounded by so many things. Like the Pandavas, they ate every meal they ate on a gold plate. They had all gold and wealth and everything. But as soon as Krishna left the planet, they walked out, went to Himalayas. Having opulence is one thing, but being attached to opulence, being controlled by opulence, that's Maya. We should be attached to Krishna and controlled by Krishna, and act for Krishna's happiness and pleasure and service. So you get all kinds of opulence, but not attached to it. And generally people devotees, they think, why I should have the minimum. If extra things comes to me, I should distribute to others. I should give charity. This human life is meant to do good for others. This is the purpose of human life, is meant to do good for others. If we get extra, we should help those that have less. Not that we enjoy more, we enjoy a basic standard. If we get extra, we should distribute wealth. Just like you see, if an average middle-class man, if his mother dies of cancer, and somehow that middle-class man, if he makes his business becomes very successful, he makes a lot of money, what does he do? He uses all his money, he opens a free cancer hospital. Because he saw how much his mother suffered from cancer, and he wants to benefit other people out of compassion. So although he earned a lot of extra money he could use to enjoy, he used it for service for humanity. This is a good thing. If we get more, we should give it charity, not save and hoard it. And this is called creeping on miserliness. Human life is meant for doing good to others. Feed other living entities, give charity. That's why in the Vedas they have so many types of dan. Anadan, Kanyadan. Like a poor guy in a village, he has 5 daughters. There's one guy in Radha Kunda has 4 daughters. And then the husband got in an auto accident and he died. And 4 daughters weren't married. And they grew up in Radha Kunda. And some Brahmins went around house to house collecting donations to marry the daughters one by one. So they came to my house, and so I gave a nice donation to help marry the daughters. So this is charity. But so it's called Kanyadan, marrying a virgin girl. Kanyadan, Anadan, all kinds of charity can be done. But the best form of charity can be done is to give transcendental knowledge. This is described in the Vedas. The greatest form of charity is distribution of transcendental knowledge. by translating articles into Italian and Russian, whatever language, and distributing knowledge to the humanity. This is the best charity. So there's some missions, ISKCON especially, is very expert in distributing transcendental knowledge around the world. So this is very beneficial for the members and for other people. This in the Bhagavatam itself and other Puranas, it says it's the topmost form of charity to distribute transcendental knowledge. Because any other form of charity keeps one in samsara, keeps one bound in the world of birth and death. But transcendental knowledge liberates one. And by receiving transcendental knowledge, you're liberated even while living in the body. That's called jiva mukta. You're living in the body and you're in spiritual consciousness, so you're liberated. Jesus said the same thing, be in the world but not of the world. That means jiva mukta. Jiva mukta, jiva, you're living, you're alive in this body. The Atma is alive in this body. But all your activities is bhakti bhajan, spiritual life. So you're living in Vaikuntha consciousness. Because Vaikuntha, Goloka Vrindavan is right here. It's not somewhere far away in a rocket ship. As soon as you change your consciousness, you change your reality, you change your world. Change your consciousness and change your world. You're in material consciousness, enjoying consciousness, you can stay in the material world. As soon as you change your consciousness to live for Krishna and breathe for Krishna, then you're in the spiritual world. You're in Vrindavan. So you have to understand any spiritual activity, any kind of spiritual sadhana, you have to follow yama and niyama, rules and regulations. If you don't have that much determination, you're a very sorry case. Then you have to pray for mercy of Bhagavan. Krishna, I'm very fallen, I can't follow these principles, I'm very weak. So Krishna can give strength. Prabhupada, you have a question? Why not? You're not studying. Radhika, come forward. Don't hide. Late coming in front of the class. Like hiding behind your friend. Okay, right. Got another question? I have a few questions already.
Does Guru know everything? Is he Antaryami?
Is Guru Antaryami?
Yes,
No. Guru is a representative of Krishna. Antaryami is Paramatma. He's Vishnu. He has 4 arms. Guru has 2 arms. You said the question is Guru representative of Antaryami? I said, no, Guru is representative of Krishna. Antaryami has 4 arms, Guru has 2 arms. And Krishna has 2 arms. The Jiva, come here. Seki Shirmani. Come near the fan. Hey Baba, come closer. Come, the men are in front. The women, ladies and guys, whatever. So Guru is representative of Krishna everywhere it's told in our Shastra. Sakshat Hari, not Sakshat Paramatma. Sakshat Hari, not so much the Shastra. All the Shastras say he's representative of Hari. A famous verse from Vamana Prana, Guru Mancha Sa Guru Sakshat Swayam Hari. The Guru is Swayam Hari, it's directly Hari, not Paramatma, not Vishnu. See, look, 2 arms. And 11th canto Bhagavatam, Buddha says that the Krishna's mercy comes in the form of super soul and guru, acharya. So there's two. One is super soul, Paramatma is Krishna in the heart, and externally Krishna appears as acharya, Diksha Guru. This is on? I don't know. Right. Oh, now it's on. I wasn't thinking it was on. I'm deaf, so I thought, I'm really deaf, I can't hear anything. It was quiet. Jaya Radhe show. Okay, what else? What other question?
How can one know that he is fully surrendered to Krishna?
How can one know he's fully surrendered to Krishna? When he gets to the spiritual world, he'll know. The question is, how do you know you're fully surrendered to Krishna? I said, when you're in the spiritual world, that means spiritual consciousness. If 24/7 you're in spiritual consciousness, that means you're fully surrendered. Krishna says, Mamana Bhavama Bhakto Madhyasi Manavasri Mami Vaishasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyasami. When you're a Priyajana of Krishna, when you're dear to Krishna, it means you're serving him every second, every minute. So when you're serving Krishna throughout the day and night, that means you're surrendered. Because surrender means service. What more does it mean? Surrender to Krishna means what? Krishna, I am yours. Sharanagati Prabhu, I surrender to you. Now what? Do some service, man. What does it mean to be surrendered? It means to do seva. That's all. That's what we're meant to do. Shivara Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. Nityadas means always doing service. So if you're always doing service, means you're a surrendered soul, Sharanagati Jeev. What does it mean to be fully surrendered? It means you're not in Maya. So that's the spiritual world. So until then we have one foot in the boat of surrender, one foot in the boat of enjoyment. So just carry on. Eventually, one lifetime will become fully surrendered. It doesn't come in one life. Many lifetimes are there. Sounds easy, but it's not easy. Just chant and dance and take prasadam. Okay, but what all the other stuff I do? Well, that doesn't count. We have samskaras, we have deep impressions and deep inclinations and proclivities to enjoy. That's our software. We've written that software program for millions of years. So now we're trying to write a new software program. A lifetime of dedication, loving service. So it's hard to write that program and follow that program. Let me just try. All you can do is try your best. Someone else has a question? Yeah, Ganapati Baba.
Maharaj, in one of the commentaries I've seen regarding Dhana Mada, Vidya Mada, and education gives Mada, and then family background gives Mada for a person, for an individual. How to deal with that, Maharaj? What is this Mada? Education should give us humility. What it is talking about here, Vidya gives Mada, means how to deal with it?
Mada means pride.
Yes, ma'am.
You say you read in some shastra that knowledge gives pride.
I have doubt in this. I have heard in commentaries how to deal with this.
Look at Nimai Pandit. he defeated Keshav Kashmiri, who was a big pundit in that time. Keshav Kashmiri wrote Kramadipika. Kramadipika is a famous shastra that even the Goswamis quote the Kramadipika in their books, Hari Bhakti and others. So he was a great pundit from Kashmir. His name was Keshav. He came to Navadvip, and a little boy defeated him, Nimai. He became the Digvijay Pandit, Nimai Pandit. And he was very proud. Chaitanya Bhagavad says Nimai Pandit used to go house to house and knock on the doors of Brahmins. He wasn't doing Madhukari. He was challenging them. Hey, come out here, I'll argue with you. What is your philosophy? You're Naya, you believe in logic. Okay. And then he would say things, and then the guy would say his philosophy. Then Lord Chaitanya would defeat him, and then he would challenge and defeat my philosophy. And the guy couldn't defeat Nimai, and then Nimai would defeat his own philosophy. And Nimai didn't go alone, because if you go alone, you don't get much. You can't embarrass the guy too much. Nimai would bring 10 or 15 friends with him. So when he defeat the Brahmin, they would all make fun of the Brahmin. Ah, you're stupid, ah. And Nimai Pandit wouldn't say anything. He would just defeat him. But all his friends would laugh and mock and make fun of the Brahmin Pandit. The guy's a big Mishra, a big Acharya, a big guru. And this little kid would knock on the door and challenge him. So Nimai was very proud. Kub Mada. Mada means pride. Mada means pride, or Mada means intoxication also. Because pride intoxicates you. I'm so beautiful. You get intoxicated. I'm so intelligent. You get intoxicated. I'm so wealthy. You get intoxicated. I'm so famous. You get intoxicated. So Nimai was all of this. So it's true. Mada makes you intoxicated. So what do you want to say?
How to deal with matter when we are studying shastras and all?
That's material knowledge.
Okay.
Bhakti Tattva makes you humble. When Lord Chaitanya got initiated by Ishvara Puri, he got Bhakti Tattva. Then he became humble. He came back to Navadvip, started washing everyone's clothes. He started going to the bathing god, going to the washing god at Ganga, and he would wash people's clothes and fold them and carry them to their house. He became very humble. He was very puffed up before. Everybody said, what happened to Nimai Pandit? Mother Baba. He became a Vaishnava. He got Diksha in Prayag, or where is it? Where he got Diksha? Prayag? Benares? Gaya. Yeah, Gaya. He got initiated in Gaya by Ishvara Puri. Everybody said, oh, now he's a Vaishnava. He got Diksha from a Guru. He got Bhakti. Now he's so humble. So he got knowledge. He got knowledge from Ishvara Puri with Diksha. The Diksha mantras gave him knowledge, and he got Kripa Guru, so he became very humble. He started cleaning the bathroom. he started doing all kinds of horrible things. Folding clothes, and so it's because of Bhakti Tattva. Bhakti Gyan makes you humble. Srinara peace in each other. So the once he was such a puffed up boy, such a proud puffed up kid. Everybody said there's no chance for him. He's too much mada, too much pride. But by Guru Kripa, even Nimai was saved. That's what he said when he met Prakashananda in Benares, where he said, my Guru told me I was a fool. He said, I can't study Vedanta. Because I studied Vedanta before, I got so pumped up. So Ishvara Puri said, don't study Vedanta, just chant Hare Krishna. Because Prakashananda said, you should study Vedanta, you're a Vedanta sannyasi. You should study Vedanta. The Mahavakya, Vedanta. And he said, no, my Guru said I'm a fool, I'm a pagal. I can just chant and dance with rickshaw walls in the street.
Wonderful.
What's the other sort of pride?
Money, Dhanamada, and then the family.
Janmeshwari Shruta Sribi Edamana Madakuma.
Oh, yeah. That's Mahabharata. Is it Mahabharata?
Kunti's page. Bhagavad.
Bhagavatam. That's
8th chapter.
I wonder if it's in here. Janmeshwari Shuta Shivir. Agamas is a good karma. Good karma rewards you with these good birth, intelligence, bodily beauty, etc. All the things we don't have. Maybe next life we'll get a chance. We'll cash in on all our good karma. He has from Devon. He's right. Oh, it's here. What about that? Kunti Stuti. Kunti Stuti. Oh, this is okay, getting proud. Yeah, that's the thing. Janmeshwari Shuta Shriya. Janmeshwari Shuta Shriya says 90. That's a good book. Says 90, it's not on 90. Great text. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, when we get all these good things, we get proud. So we're proud of our family, our birth, and all that. So, what's your question?
How to deal with that situations? They come to an individual. Now I got that one answer about Vidya. If
Proud of your birth and proud of what? Your money.
Money. I do not have, but because this is quoted by Satchidananda's Babaji on the context of why Krishna ended his lineage. He does not want his lineage to use his name, family's name, Krishna's name to exploit others. One of the reason why he ended Yadava's dynasty. So, and even if they are not exploiting, people are ready to offer themselves to Krishna's pleasure to their family members. So, for that he ended. In that context, he quoted this.
Well, everywhere it's told pride precedes the fall. So, if you're proud, you go down. Because if we're proud, we misuse our wealth, our assets, our opulence. And so Krishna was even worried about his own family dynasty, the Yadavas, so he eliminated them from Vasa Kshetra, Mosal Lila. He eliminated, they had a civil war, they killed each other. Because he thought that they would become proud after Krishna left this world, his family dynasty would become proud and exploit their position and mislead the people and be adharmic. So to prevent his family from becoming adharmic and spreading adharma, Krishna eliminated them. it wasn't, that's just to teach other people the pernicious effect of pride. Pernicious means the harmful effect of pride. So we shouldn't be proud of anything. We should always remember everything we have is a gift of God, And being a gift of God, whatever we have belongs to God and should use in His seva. So we always keep this attitude and keep this in practice, and attitude and mentality and practice. Use whatever we have for Christian service, that will never become victims of pride. You really good with her fingers on these phones. If you use her fingers like 100 miles an hour on the phone, I can't. I look at the phone, you're a modern generation. Fingertips. Question.
Maharaj,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
do the 8 primary gopis all have a manjari root?
Do the 8 primary,
Gopis all have a manjari form?
the 8, you're saying 8, like the Lita Vishaka Chitra, do they have Manjari form? The question is, do the Radharani's Asasakis have Manjari form? I never read that directly, but they generally have some Manjari. There's a chief Manjari that's a chief assistant to them. It's like Lita Saki is Asasaki in Radharani's group, or youth. Lita Saki is one of Asasaki is Radharani, and her chief Manjari is Rupa Manjari. And Vishaka Saki, her chief Manjari is Tulsi Manjari. Rati Manjari, also called Rati Manjari Das Goswami. So I don't know the other Asasakis, Chitra, Chambak, Ganga Devi, Sudevi, etc., who their chief manjaris are. So it can be seen, those chief manjaris, maybe expansions of them. But generally it says that all these Sakis and manjaris are Kaya view of Radharani. Have you read anything like this? Saki? Yeah, his question is,
I just remember that we always hear about Prabhupada Saraswati in the video Sati that he says, I offer obeisance to Sati Bhav, but my everything is now this Manjari Bhav, Dasi Bhav, towards Radharani. That all the people Sati, we accepted Manjari Swarup. But I haven't heard, like as you mentioned, Maharaj, generally that Sakis, Ashta Sakis, I never heard that they have like a...
I never read anywhere in Shastra, because whenever we can hear anything from any sadhu baba, sannyasi, but it should we should have some backing in Shastra to make a praman. Otherwise, everybody has their ideas and opinions, so there has to be some standard of authority, and then we accept Shastra as that standard of authority. Nice weather, huh? Wind and humidity, relief. The only happiness of the jiva is relief from misery. This is stated in Sandarbhas. Confirmed. That's your phone? Oh, man. I did indigestion or something. Questions? Time? Another question. See, Raul is there. Raul always asks questions. Look at now he's quiet. He's Raul.
Gurudev, what is the internal consciousness and practical action to do when we take full shelter of Krishna?
What is the what?
What is the internal consciousness and practical action to do when we take full shelter of Krishna
What is the internal consciousness?
and practical action?
That's a fancy way of saying. That's a kind of fancy language. When we surrender to Krishna, what do we do? These questions all have the same answer. See, you just see how difficult it is to serve Krishna. We have an inborn, causeless reluctance to serve God. Although it's our lakshana, it's the very nature of every jiva to serve God. It's our constitutional position. It's completely covered over by tamagun, ignorance, and samskaras for countless births in Maya. So we have no touch or no connection with the concept that I am a servant of Krishna. So we ask all these convoluted questions, all complex, convoluted questions. What is the internal consciousness and the external expression of the concept of surrender? What is all this word juggling, Jack? You have two choices: serve Maya, illusion, stay in the world of birth and death, or serve Krishna and get liberated. Must. Love Maya or love Krishna. Keep it simple. There's this principle in business called the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Surrender to Krishna, serve Krishna, love Krishna, go to Krishna. Don't surrender to Krishna, love Maya, stay in Maya, and kiss Maya. So what's the big deal, man? Study Gita, read Gita 10 times, and chant 1 lakh a day for 1 year, and see what happens. Maybe you'll get some idea. I think I should serve Krishna. I remember in 1974, 3,000 years ago, for most of you. Three lifetimes ago for most of you. I got Bhagavad Gita and teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, and Krishna book. They were given to me for a good price. In Los Angeles, ISKCON. I went and read them, and I realized, I said, I have to serve Krishna. I read the book that said, human life is meant for serving Krishna, and he's this little guy and all this stuff. And he runs around Vrindavan. And I read it, and for 1 year I kept thinking about that idea and reading about those books. And one day I realized, I have to serve Krishna. How am I going to serve Krishna? I'm here living on the beach in Santa Monica and just, going to college and moving off way to my life. So I moved into the temple. So I moved into the temple and started serving Krishna. It was a good choice. It was a good idea. And 48 years went by. Here I am. So it's not so difficult. Prabhupada once said, spiritual life is easy for the simple-hearted and difficult for the crooked-hearted. If you're crooked-hearted, it's very difficult, spiritual life. If you're simple-hearted, spiritual life is very easy. Because it's natural. It's natural to serve Krishna. It's natural to love Krishna. Everything else is artificial and unnatural. That's why it's so much struggle, so much anxiety, so much tension, so much pain, because it ain't us. It's not natural. It's natural to hear and chant and serve Krishna. This is the nature of the jiva. But we're out of touch with our nature, so we're a miserable life. How misery. Question. What is that question?
Italian net.
Okay, Italian net.
How to develop more love for cows and how to understand that cow is holy.
How to develop more love for cows?
And understand that cow is holy.
And I understand what?
Cow is holy. Cow is holy. Holy cow.
That is must be worshipped. That we must worship cow. How to understand this reality.
I understand the reality that the cow is sacred. We should worship the cow. Because this is what is told in the Vedic scriptures. In the Vedic scriptures, the Upanishads and the Puranas, especially in Mahabharata, it says the cow is a sacred animal. It says there's 7 mothers that should be worshipped. Jana Mata, Raj Mata, Brahmani Mata, Dano, Dachi, and Dharani. Mother Earth is Dharani, Dano is Mother Cow, Dachi is the nurse. And these are the 7 mothers. So Shastras say these 7 mothers should be worshipped. So if you follow Shastra, the Shastra tell human beings how to behave and how to act. And they have also, Shastras have identified that different spiritual personalities reside, have expanded residences in different places in the cow. The right eye of the cow is the sun, Surya Narayan. Left eye of the cow is Chandra. Forehead of the cow is Shiva. Neck of the cow is Vishnu. And Ashwini Kumars are there. And Rahu and Ketu and Ganga Mata. All different devatas are located, have an expanded form in the cow. And we see that all the greatest rishis, the greatest learned personalities in the history of India and Bharatvarsha have always worshipped the cow. The cow is a mother, and the cow should be worshipped like a mother. Be protected and served and worshipped just like your mother. You worship your mother, you serve and protect your mother, you should worship and serve and protect the cow. In cultures that eat the cow and kill the cow, that's unfortunate for them. But in civilized cultures, they don't kill the cow. So why is the cow sacred? Why do we worship the cow? Because the scriptures tell us to. The scriptures of India. India is mostly, people are non-vegetarian in India, but they don't eat cow. According to Shastra, they can eat many different kinds of animals, birds and animals and fish and things, but the Shastras do not allow them to eat cow. The Shastra tells specific birds and fish and animals that can be eaten by human beings. But Vaishnavas never eat animals. But Vaishnavas are a small part of the population of India. A very small part of the population of India is Vaishnavas. Mostly are. So the non-Vaishnava class, they by Shastra they can eat chicken and meat and goat and all kinds of things like this. By Shastra. Maybe surprising to you to know that, but that's a fact. Vegetarians are I don't know, maybe 5% of the population of India, maybe 10%. All South India, all East India, all everywhere.
In our place, Brahmins and Vaishyas do not eat non-vegetarian.
Brahmins and Vaishyas,
Vaishyas also do not eat.
even the Waitan Brahmins.
Yes.
They do not eat.
Shaivites and
No. Officially, they do not eat in the house.
Vaishyas and Brahmins. Vaishyas and Brahmins.
They do not eat. But outside now, recently, this pollution, in every family, they go out and eat some people. But in families, it is not allowed. Ancestral tradition.
Anyway, the main thing is to stay on the subject. Vegetarians are a big minority in India, what to speak of the world. But why we worship the cow, why are you anything? Because we follow Shastra. Krishna says in the 16th chapter, verse 23, Yashastra. If you don't follow Shastra, you'll get no perfection, no liberation, no happiness. Nasatsima abhavnati nastikam na pramgatim. 16th chapter Gita, verse 23. If you don't follow the Shastra, you get no happiness, you get no success in life, and no liberation. So our Shastras of India tell us to worship and serve the cow just like our mother. Cow lives in the house in India.
Yes.
She has a room in the house. This is my room, this is my mother's room, this is go about this room.
It's very beautiful. I love India so much even for this reason. Because outside it's very bad.
Okay, editorial comment. Just ask a question, no comments. I love India. Get a t-shirt, I love India. First, I love Vrindavan. Question. Hey, that question there? Yeah.
Excuse me. Maharaj, your recommendation, someone wants to stay in Braj, how much to interact with the Brajbasis? If you want to stay long term, what's the plan for interacting with the Brajbasis?
Question is, if you want to live in Braj, how much to interact with the Brajbasis? This question is answered by Lord Chaitanya and Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Jagadananda Pandit wanted to visit Vrindavan, he asked for permission of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said yes, but when you go there, stay with your godbrother, stay with Sanat Goswami. Don't live with Vrishvasis and keep a distance, stay away from the Vrishvasis because they're on a different platform. Show respect to the Vrishvasis, but don't mix up with Vrishvasis. And don't stay very long and come back quickly to Puri to be in my association. So to live a long time in Vrindavan, it's best to stay with your own kind. Live with your own type of people. Stay with Gaudiya Vaisnavas and friends and your godbrothers, godsisters. And don't mix up with Vrishvasis. You can do service to Vrishvasis if you have an opportunity or some facility to do service. You can do service sometimes. Otherwise, stay away. I lived here for 36 years. I haven't gotten tight close to any Vrishvasis. I didn't come here to be social. I came here to get liberated. Be friendly, but don't mix up. That's my humble suggestion. Stay with your own kind. Sajatya snigdha asha satovare. Stay with Gaudiya Vaisnavas and try to associate with advanced Gaudiya Vaisnavas. or people on your same level. Vishwasis should be respected at a distance. That's good. Sometimes some devotees, they come from the West, they have some karmic connection. From the last life, they have some karmic connection with Vishwasis. So that fructifies. They get married to Vishwasis. They get married to them. This is some karmic connection. So there's exceptions to what I said, but I mean, that's my subjective answer, obviously, because you're asking me what I think about it. I lived here for 36 years, and this is how I lived here. I gave a lot of donations because I had a facility to give donations, but I keep aloof. I have a chowkidar, so it helps. Most people say my chowkidar is like a bulldog. I said, people say, I come to visit you, I can't get by your chowkidar. Give my number, tell my name, tell him not to bite me. I said, I don't know. He doesn't tell me who comes, who goes. He just shoots everybody up at the door. The human bulldog, you know. They're small but powerful. So I don't disturb too much. But I didn't always have a chowkidar. I lived here 36 years. For 19 years I had a chowkidar. So half the time I didn't have a chowkidar, people just come to the door, knock on the door. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. Open the door, then what's going to happen? It's a lot better with a chowkidar than a big yard. You know. Questions? Ganapati, questions?
Maharaj, recently I was into some contemplation. When I'm seeing
Swimming or contemplation?
no, not recently, 1 week back, I was thinking about this nature and all. So when I'm thinking, Krishna gave a system in Shastras how to live in this world also, to stay happily also. There are some rules and scriptural injunctions given. So we do not follow many of the times, understanding the space of other living entities. For example, nature also we pollute in many ways. You told about plastic, not to use plastic and all. So is it one of the reasons that we are also getting affected with our health because we are not following the instructions given by Lord to take care of other entities in our nature? For example, polluting rivers. So different ways.
Action, reaction.
Yes, I want to ask.
It's an obvious answer. There's no mystery in that. We're getting all kinds of diseases because we're causing diseases in nature.
Yes.
We're polluting nature, so we're getting polluted. We can't separate our reality, our existence from nature. So we're disconnected with nature. So we pollute all the air, so we get all kinds of diseases related to air. We pollute the water, we get all kinds of diseases related to water. We pollute the earth, we get all kinds of diseases related to earth. So Panchabhotika, the body's made of Panchabhotika, the nature's made of Panchabhotika. So everything in nature is going inside. There's cancer in nature, so there's cancer inside.
That's it.
It's a simple answer. It's an integrated unit. Harmony. There's no harmony now.
Sometimes people keep on questioning why I am getting diseases without understanding what we are contributing to the nature, how we are behaving towards the nature. But
Disease is always there from time immemorial. Java Mritu Javadi Dukkha Dosha Darsha. This is Gita Upanishad. Gita is called Upanishad. It's supreme transcendental wisdom. Prastantraya. Vedanta Sutra, Upanishads, and Gita. Prastantraya. 3 forms of spiritual pure knowledge. It says, John Maitreya, it says, I just said it.
Yes.
It says my mind. Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Darshana. So Vyadi means disease. So it's there forever. Jara, old age. Birth, old age, disease, and death. Everyone gets disease, everyone dies. The special feature, me? Not me. You too. No one escapes the laws of nature. Why am I getting disease? Because you took birth. Anybody asks you that question, why are you getting disease? You know why? Because you took birth. I'm getting old. Why am I getting old? Because you were born. I'm going to die. Why did I die? Because you took birth. But when I was born, death is certain. In between is old age and disease. What's the big surprise there? There's some mystery novel. Takes 300 pages to figure out, solve it.
But in reality, Dwapar Yuga's bodies are more healthier than Kali Yuga bodies. Even Treta Yuga bodies used to be
So live the Dwapar Yuga, man. Prolonged misery. Here we get out fast. Dwapar Yuga, 10,000 years. So 10,000 years of misery. 10,000 years married to your wife. Now you're married for 30 years, you're out. It's a good deal.
That's why.
You're living in sadhya, you're married for 60,000 years. How many rotis is that? 8 rotis a day times 360,000 years, a lot of rotis. Kali Yuga is a blessing. People in other ages, they're praying to take birth in Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga, you live a short time, and simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you get liberated. No Shirasan, no fasting, all this stuff, just chanting Hare Krishna. Civil way. Questions? What time is it? 4:30.
3:57.
Four 57.
357.
Question. Another question?
Maharaj, when the Guru reveals the Siddhadeha to the disciple, so that Siddhadeha, is it revealed to Guru by Krishna in his meditation, or he decides what is the Siddhadeha, and when the disciple meditates, it becomes the reality?
As the disciple, as the Guru gives the Siddhadeha to the disciple. The Guru gives Siddhadeha to the disciple by meditation, by mercy, and by revelation. The Siddhas are in the spiritual world. All the Siddhas, there's unlimited Siddhas in the spiritual world. And Krishna gives one of those Siddhas to the disciple at the time of death, which we see in the Bhagavatam. That when the devotee died, he received a Siddha from the spiritual world. Narada Muni, first canto, third canto, Karamuni, fourth canto, Dhruva Maharaj, sixth canto, Jamil, eighth canto, Gajendra, ninth canto, Yati, 10th canto, Putana, Agasura, some gopis, like this. So many people throughout the Bhagavatam, they receive a Siddha, give it to them by Vishnu at the time of death, or Krishna. So that's one way, to get the Siddha at the time of death. Another way is the Guru meditates and gets the experience of the Siddha of that Jiva, of the disciple in the spiritual world. He reveals it to the disciple. He tells, this is your Siddha. He sees it, he understands it. Then the disciple meditates on that, and Krishna gives that Siddha at the time of prema. In Kanda prema, you see that Siddha before you leave the body. That's how it's done. Clear? Siddhas are there. You're here. It has to come from there to here. Krishna brings it at the time of death, or Guru brings it before death. And the third canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 9, verse 11, says, whatever yad yadiya, vapu, whatever spiritual body you meditate on during your sadhana, Krishna will give you that spiritual body at the time of perfection. Simple. Sounds simple. More question?
One more I have.
Okay.
Maharaj, some class of devotees, they don't follow this process of Guru revealing Siddhadeha. So, what best they can do for this verse? I mean, Seva Siddha Rupena. So, what best they can do?
In other words, if someone doesn't have a Siddha, how they meditate on a Siddha. Just get an AI program. Get an artificial intelligence program on your computer and design your own Siddha. Get the AI Siddha app, put it on your phone, and design your own Siddha. What color skin you want, what color hair, what color eyes. You meditate on that? That's a problem. Gaudiya Swami says in 12296, Satsang Gaudiya Surya Shatri, we have to, and Cha Itra, he means simultaneously here and now. Cha Itra means Cha Itra, means here and now. Simultaneously, you say in your Sakadaya and your Siddha. So you're practicing Raganuga Bhakti, your Sakadaya, And you're supposed to, at the same time, you're supposed to practice your sadhya, but you don't have sadhya, so you can't practice regular bhakti. So that's where the guru comes in. Necessary. So people are following the system, they don't get sadhya, they can't really practice regular bhakti. They can read about it and pray the holy name. The holy name will reveal their sadhya. That's all they can do. But they can't actually practice that aspect of regular bhakti, of doing saving your sadhya, because they don't have it. They don't see it. They haven't received it by the mercy of the holy name. And that's the process they follow. Revelation from the holy name. So you just read about Radha Krishna, read about their leelas, and think about their leelas. They can do that much. That's all they can do. But generally, if someone is really like that, some desire will come in them to find proper connection with Guru to make go farther. Because many people start practicing regular bhakti, and they end up going to a guru to get siddha. So they realize the necessity of guru for being introduced to that world. The role of the guru. That's what's told in 312 Bhakti Sundara. 312, section 3, Bhakti Sundara. Jiva Goswami says, Shri Guru Charan, by the mercy of the lotus feet of my Guru, I have a Sakshat Brajajana, a specific form in Braj that I meditate on. And we discussed that verse before with you in Sunday Satsang. So people read that in the book and they'll say, wow, this is the mercy of Guru, you got my Siddha and Braj, I better find a Guru. So they'll leave wherever they are, they'll go forward. Krishna will direct them to go forward. If someone's really sincere about Raganuga Bhakti, Krishna will make everything successful. They can just talk Rag Bhakti, but they're more interested in Maya than Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means I want to follow a particular resident in Vrindavan and serve Radha Krishna in Vrindavan like they serve Radha Krishna. This is Raganuga Bhakti. But who has that desire, who has that taste, who has that ruchi? Very few people. Everyone says Rag Bhakti. They don't even know the definition of Rag Bhakti. Question.
Maharaj, what is bhav of Manjri like? In Sakhya bhav, sadhaka feels Krishna is my friend. Same as in Vatsalya, they feel I am Krishna's parent.
Okay, I know all that. The question is, what is the bhav of Manjri? There's two aspects to consider here. One is the stairati, means a dominant, permanent mood of love towards Krishna, of the Manjris. It's the same as Radharani and the Sakhis. It's called Madhurati, amorous love. That's the unchangeable, permanent, dominant mood of love towards Krishna. To love Krishna is an amorous mood of love. Erotic, amorous love. Like man-woman type love. But it's towards Krishna, that's no. But the attitude, the actual working mood and bhav of a Manjri is dasi bhav. I'm a servant of a maid servant of Radharani. Shri Radha Dasi. Shri Radha Dasi Pramavishtam Rita Darya. This is 259 Radha Kunda. Verse 259, one pada. Shri Radha Dasyam Pramavishtam Rita Daryan. I'm holding in my heart my supreme cherished ambition to be a maidservant, the Dasya of Radharani's lotus feet. So the Bhava Manjari for meditation is I'm a servant. That's all. We do any number of unlimited services to please Radharani and Krishna. Maybe we focus on Radharani. Radha Dasi. Raha Paricharani. Chatur Paricharani. All kinds of phrases are there describing Manjari. They're servants, that's all about us. That's why they're so blissful. No tension. The Sakhis are in so much tension. It's one of the anubhavs. Chinta, anxiety, udkanta, anxious, longing, udkanta, udveg, all kinds of anubhavas and sensory bhavas and Sakhis. The Manjari is just dasi. Sakhis have so much problems. 33 sensory bhavas, 13 anubhavas, and Sakhis have one bhava, dasi bhava. Manjaris have one dasi bhava. Oh, my Radharani is in Chitta, I have to take her Chitta. Radharani is in Udveg, Radharani is in Visita. Radharani goes through all these different emotions. The Manjari just try to help her be happy. Manjari is calm, balanced, like, okay. She feels Radharani where Radharani feels, but she's always controlled by Dasi Bhava. Serving the moment, serving necessity. Service is judged by its necessity. So the second Manjari is always doing the necessary seva for Radharani. Radharani enters a Nayaka Bhava called Kalahantarita. Kalahantarita means sadness after having a love quarrel. Kalaha means love quarrel. Antarita means after. Kalaha, Antarita. Like Antilila. Kalaha, Antarita means remorse, feel remorse after throwing Krishna out of the kunj. Get out of here, you bum, you dirty rake, you dirt, you lumpot. Go to that other one. Just get out of here. Oh, Lalita, bring Krishna back. I shouldn't have thrown him out. Let's call Kalahantarita Bhava. So much are watching, oh, now Radha is a Kalahantarita Bhava. Now what's my seva? So I have to go and bring Krishna back and come back into Kunja. So Radha has so many bhavas, so many emotions, but there's oh no. They're just saying how to save it, how to save it, how to save it. Next question. Ganapati Rama is on it.
Jai Sri Radhe Gurudev, who is the God worshipped through Brahma Gayatri. Most of the general people say Ma Gayatri is the Devi worshipped through Gayatri Mantra. Is it right? And will chanting of Brahma Gayatri Mantra lead someone to Krishna?
Well, what's the question?
Who is the God worshipped through Brahma Gayatri Mantra? most of the people say Ma Gayatri is the Devi worshipped through Gayatri mantra. Is it right? And will chanting of Brahma Gayatri mantra lead someone to Krishna?
Questions about Brahma Gayatri, where does it take you? Depends on the mantra or chintana. What is your conception of the mantra? I don't chant Brahma Gayatri. Brahma Gayatri is given to people born in Indian culture, people born in Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya have the adhikar to receive Brahma Gayatri. If you're not born in Indian culture, if you're not born in India, you have no adhikar or right to receive Brahma Gayatri according to the Shastra. Generally, it's told that the Istadevata of Brahma Gayatri is Surya Narayan. Savitri. Savitri is the wife of Surya Narayan. So, if you chant Brahma Gayatri thinking you're worshipping Surya Narayan, you go to Vaikuntha. You're Lakshmi Surya Narayan. Lakshmi Narayan. Some people say Brahma Gayatri is worship Agni, Agni Dev. So you chant Brahma Gayatri thinking that you're worshiping Agni Dev, you go to Agni Loka. You go to the fire Loka. There's a covering of the universe called Agni. You go there, immerse in there. It's pretty hot place. And some people think Brahma Gayatri means the effulgence of Radharani. Some people have given commentary that the Brahma Gayatri is worshipping the Jyoti of Radharani. So you chant Brahma Gayatri thinking that this is the Jyoti, the effulgence, the Jyoti of Radharani, you go to Radharani. But my guru didn't give me Brahma. Outside of ISKCON Gaudiya Math, no Gaudiya Vaisnava receives Brahma Gayatri. Brahma Gayatri is a special mantra for those lucky souls in Gaudiya Math and ISKCON. All the Diksha mantras are listed in Hari Bhakti Vilas, and Brahma Gayatri is not listed in Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatana Goswami. There's Shinga mantras there, there's Narayana mantras there, there's Gopal mantras there, Kam Gayatri there. These are Diksha mantras for Gaudiya Sampradaya. There's Gopal mantra and Kam Gayatri. Kam Gayatri is mentioned in Madhya Chaitanya Charitamrita also. And Gopal mantra is described in Gopal Tami Upanishad. So it's an ancient mantra. Lord Brahma received Gopal mantra from Narayana. So Brahma, Gopal mantra is the standard Diksha mantra for Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma Gayatri is a special mantra for those special people in ISKCON Gaudiya Math. IGM. So I'm not too familiar with, I just mentioned some of the ideas in Shastra about Brahma Gayatri. Oh, Vasvata. Savitor. Vargo means Madanandini. What do you want to say now?
Can I share something, Maharaj, regarding this? In South India, they said Varanyam, one word, is related to Purusha. That means it increases the semen in the body, Brahman, Tejas, to bring it to brain. So that's why females are not advised in our place to chant.
Yeah, and the Shastra said Brahma Gayatri should not be given to
females at all. They've explained that word increases the body Tejas inside, male semen. That means to utilize it to our brain, to tejas is a spiritual.
Yeah, I understand. Ojas, it's called ojas.
Ojas, yes.
Ojas becomes tejas.
Yes. Sorry.
Ojas is one thing, tejas is something else. Ojas becomes tejas if we conserved and raised through the Sushumna Nadi. So it's a fact that the Shastras describe the Brahmagaji. They also say it's forbidden to give Brahmagaji to women because it's related to men and Ojas and Tejas. So what's your point? That's true.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
correct. That's why it's a special mantra. Yeah. special thing.
Is it flute sound of Krishna also? Somebody say it is a flute sound of Krishna.
I didn't hear.
Brahma heard it.
I don't think so. Maybe I remember.
That's why to get the full advantage of Brahma Gayatri, if some female wants to chant, they give Sarva Gayatri mantra. That is not this intense Moola mantra, but it gives the same effect, diluted form.
What is that?
There is a Sarva Gayatri prayers given in South India.
Sarva.
Sarva Gayatri.
Sarva.
Sarva Gayatri mantra. It's not mantra, it's like prayer,
Okay.
which gives the effect like chanting that mantra, the positive effect they want to get.
Okay, good.
So-
Hare Krishna. It's a Maha mantra. Lord Chaitanya says in 97 of Gita, he says, Krishna mantra, Samsara mochan, Krishna nam, Krishna charan, Krishna charan. So you chant the Krishna mantra, Gopal mantra, you get liberation from the material world. And once you get liberated, you chant Hari Krishna mantra, attain lotus feet of Krishna. So that's what we do. We chant Gopal mantra and Hari Krishna mantra. By chanting Gopal mantra, we'll get samsara moksha, we'll get liberated. By chanting Hari Krishna mantra, we'll attain the lotus feet of Krishna. That's all we want, that's all we need. Or Krishna. Is Yarna?
We see in Vilapakusu Manjari that Raghunath Swami is tasting separation from Radharani in Sadhakadeha and the union with and Seva with Radharani in Siddhadeha. My question is in the spiritual world the Manjaris feels only union with Radharani, or there are some occasions where Manjari tastes the feeling of separation from Radharani in the spiritual world?
Question is, in the spiritual world, the Manjari, because we see in Vilapakusu Manjari that Raghunath Swami is sometimes having Swarti experiences, the visions of the spiritual world, and he's in her Siddhadeha, the Tulsi Manjari, serving Radharani. And he loses that Swarti and enters, comes back into Bahir Dasha consciousness as a Sadhaka Raghunath Das and laments and separation. So in spiritual world, the Manjaris never feel separation from Radharani. They never feel separation from Radharani because they're with Radharani, they live with Radharani 24 hours a day. They're Prakat Leela Radharani. But Radharani feels separation from Krishna. So sometimes the Manjaris they feel, because Manjaris are taught Tadamika Radharani, they feel Radharani's separation from Krishna. The Radharani is locked in her house, they yum it, they can't come out. And the Manjaris in Radha Kunda making preparations for Radharani to meet Krishna in Radha Kunda. And the parrot comes to Radha Kunda, and tells the Manjari Radharani can't get out of the house, and Radharani starts crying in separation from Krishna. The Manjari and Radha Kunda starts crying in separation from Krishna, because he's one in heart with Radharani. Krishna. When's your brother coming back?
Thursday.
When's Ekadasi?
Thursday, Maharaj.
29.
Thursday.
Thursday. Do you have a Radha Kunda calendar? You have? Yes or no?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Maharaj, have you ever come across any difference of opinion among 6 Goswamis on any philosophical aspect?
Difference of opinion on the 6 Goswamis on different philosophical aspects. There are some differences of opinion among the 6 Goswamis. Jiva Goswami explains in Gopal Champu that it appears at one level, but there's two different, he presents two different viewpoints actually. On one level, it appears Jiva Goswami is endorsing Swakya Bhav, the Radha Krishna married. This seems to be apparent from writing of Gopal Champu. But Jiva Goswami himself in Gopal Champu says, some of the things I read in this book are for others, and not my opinion. So most of the Goswamis, except Jiva Goswami, believe in Parikya Bhav. Parikya Bhav here in Prakat Lila, and Parikya Bhav in Aprakat Lila. The reality of Parikya Bhav. The Radha Krishna are not married. It's Paramar love. Radha is married to Abhimanyu, and she enjoys with Krishna in the material world, in Prakat Lila, and also in the spiritual world. It's called Parikya Bhav. Parikya Bhav is Nitya, is eternal. But Jiva Goswami appears to endorse the Parikya Bhav is only here in this moment down, but not in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, Radha Krishna are married. But also in Gopal Champu, Jiva Goswami writes that what I read in this book is for the benefit of others, not my own opinion. That's one of the major things. There are other points also. But that's one point. Differences among Goswami. But pretty much they're unified. Krishna's Kairaj says, Rupa Raghunatha Padi Havyakati. So every Gaudiya Vaisnava should be eager to follow Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari, and Raghunath Goswami, and Rati Manjari Tulsi Manjari. This are main teachers for Bhakti Bhajan. Bhajan Sri Sindhu, Ujjvala Mani, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the books of Vishnu Chakravarti and Narottam. These are the most important for Gaudiya Vaishnava. And of course, the Sandarbha is the Jiva Goswami. But the Jiva Goswami, sometimes Vishnu Chakravarti has differences of opinion with Jiva Goswami also. It's not so important to go into all that. But some ideas for it. But if you just stick with Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, you'll be in good shape. But for clear philosophical understanding, you need to study the Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami. Because Prem Bhakti Chandrika is a summary in a sutra form of all the teachings of Rupa and Raghunath. All the teachings of Guru Raghunath are contained in Prema Bhakti Chandra in a sutra form. Very beautiful book, Prema Bhakti Chandra. It's the essence of the Goswami teachings are there. And the commentaries by Sri Ananda Babaji are superlative, are excellent. That's the book she read several times, many times. You get the summary of the teaching, of the essence of Rag Bhakti, and Vaidhi Bhakti, Rag Bhakti, everything is there. Gorky Shardas Babaji said these two books will give you praying. Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandra. They're so powerful, so valuable. Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya was personally given praying from Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya went to Bangladesh, which is called East Bengal, and bathed in the Padma River. Padma River is a branch of the Ganga. And when he's bathing in the Padma River, he starts saying, Narottam, Narottam, Narottam. And everybody said, who's Narottam? He said, don't worry, in the future, a young boy will come named Narottam. He'll bathe here in the Padma River. I'm leaving my praying, all my mercy. I'm leaving in this river. He'll bathe this river, and all my mercy and praying will come inside of him. That's Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya. So he has all the mercy and love of the Gauranga. That's a pretty powerful combination. So Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandra are essential books. They're not really books, they're the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam. Next question? Okay. Question? Thinking? Yeah, a little second, you're a big second. You're a Shirwa and she's just always a second. You're a Shirwa buddy. Jewel, head, Chris Jewel. You're just a junior. Yeah.
Gurudev, somebody asked me about Kundalini Yoga, but I don't know about.
A guy or what?
No, yoga. No, yoga.
That's better. So what about it?
So is there any connection, general connection for people who are doing this, like yogas?
Question? What's the question? Kundalini Yoga.
Connection with Bhakti.
Connection with Bhakti.
Not clear question.
There's different types of yoga practiced for different purposes. Kundalini Yoga is for Brahman realization. Kundalini Yoga is not anukulya for Bhakti Bhajan. Anything, whatever needed for Bhakti Bhajan, for attaining praying for Radha Krishna, has been described by the 6 Goswamis in their books. They spent their whole life just writing Bhakti Tattva Bhakti Tattva Likaya. Lord Chaitanya ordered Rupa and Sanatan to go to Vrindavan and write books about Bhakti. So Bhakti has Sambandha Videya Prayojan. Prayojana Bhakti Bhajan is Krishna praying Seva in Vrindavan. So Kundalini Yoga is not designed to give the Krishna praying Seva, give the praying Seva of Krishna Vrindavan. That's not the purpose of the principles or practices of Kundalini Yoga. Have nothing to do with the praying Seva of Radha Krishna Vrindavan. One may give some idea about that, twist it around, but if you read the books on Kundalini, you read the principles, the Shastras of Kundalini, and the teaching of Kundalini, it's not about serving Radha Krishna Vrindavan. Serving Radha Krishna Vrindavan is described by Nimbarkacharya and by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Six Goswamis. And neither Nimbarkacharya nor Lord Chaitanya describe the necessity or the value of practicing Kundalini Yoga. So we follow the Six Goswamis and the Acharyas are following the Six Goswamis to attain our perfection of life. The Kama Sutra and Kundalini Yoga are not part of our Shastra. These are Vedic Shastras, Kama Sutra and Kundalini, but they're not part of Bhakti path of Bhakti Yoga. As presented by Six Goswamis. Nowadays, in Kali Yuga, it's a kitchen of everything. Everything's mixed up kitchen. But some people don't like kitchen. They like sabji and puri. Because Krishna is the same verse. It says, Krishna says in Gita, you follow the Shastra, you get perfection. But some charismatic guy or charismatic lady comes together and does a lot of word juggling and says, mixes Kundalini with Hatha Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and calls it Tree Yoga, Tree Power Yoga. Kundalini, Bhakti, and Hatha Yoga. It's called Tree Power Yoga. Triyanga Power Yoga. Triyanga Shakti Yoga. Kundalini Shakti, Bhakti Shakti, and Hatha Shakti. Kali Yuga is the age of concoction. Make a new thing. Beer Yoga. Beer. They drink beer, do yoga. That's there. Puppy yoga. Puppy, doggy yoga. You do shavasana, put a puppy on your belly. Shavasana means to lie like a corpse. Shavasana. And put a puppy on your belly. It harmonizes all your chakras. The same damn thing, you have a long enough beard and sparkling enough eyes and fancy enough Rudraksha, you make $1 million. It's the age of fools, cheaters and cheated. Anything old is no good, anything traditional is no good, anything original is no good. It has to be new. AI yoga. Robot yoga. Crazy stuff. It feels to most people, this kind of stuff. Basically, the bottom line is enjoy. No one wants to serve Krishna and serve God.
Maharaj, there is a very interesting question here.
Okay.
Anurag Singh, from Anurag Singh. Gurudev, is it right to build our own home in Vrindavan? Everyone wants Vrajavas, but due to this, Vrindavan is getting too crowded. That creates trouble to Vrajavasis and sadhus.
What?
Everyone wants to have their own house in Vrindavan. Vrajavas want to get Vrajavas, but because of this thought, Vrindavan is getting crowded and creating trouble to Vrajavasis and sadhus.
What's the question?
So, can we have this thought of having our own house in Vrindavan, or are we troubling Vrajavasis and sadhus by building our own house?
Yes, it's a fact you're troubling Vrajavasis and sadhus by moving to Vrindavan. That's a fact. But moving to Vrindavan means establishing Vrindavan in your heart. First establish Vrindavan in your heart, then see what Krishna wants to do. If you establish Krishna in your heart, Krishna will bring you to his home. And make a arrangement for you to live in Vrindavan. But the important thing is to establish, first move Krishna into your heart, and then see if he wants you to live in Vrindavan. Because buying a house in Vrindavan doesn't mean living in Vrindavan. Living in Vrindavan means having Krishna in your heart and serving Krishna. So when you move Krishna in your heart, you're always serving Krishna, and Krishna will feel your separation if you're living outside. And Krishna will say, come and live with me in my homeland. Because you're in my heart, I'm in your heart. As Krishna told Ambarish, Dravasa Muni, sadhanam hridayatayam, sadhanam yes, I am in the heart of sadhus, sadhus in my heart. I don't know anything but sacred people, and sacred people don't know anything with me. The first thing is to move Krishna into your heart, and then see if Krishna moves you into his heart. The heart of Krishna is Vrindavan, and the heart of Vrindavan is Radharani. So living in Vrindavan means living in the heart of Radharani. Buying a house and land here doesn't mean you're living in Krishna's land. Just buying a house and buying land in the house of Vrindavan means giving trouble to the Brajvasis and to the sadhus. So you move Krishna into your heart and dedicate your life to serving Krishna. You'll feel that you want to live in Krishna's homeland of Vrindavan, and Krishna will invite you and bring you to his homeland. But any endeavor at all, Krishna will bring you here and make arrangements for you to live with him. If you fall in love with someone, it won't be long before you're living with them. You'll bring them, your heart is mixed up with someone, you love them, and pretty soon you'll live together. So first mix up your heart with Krishna, then see if he wants to live with you. Go back to Delhi. No. You'll be tested. What time is it? 4:40. 20 minutes. Notes. Oh, notes. 3 notes. 3 notes. Wow. Good students. Questions?
These feelings of separation from Radharani, I have read that these are more strong than the feeling of union. So, but if these feelings can be tasted only in sadhaka deha, how is when one obtains prema has always an eternal sadhaka deha and an eternal siddha deha, or only the nitya siddha can always taste both union and separation with Radharani?
I got lost. You have to think about what you want to say, ask a question.
Okay, so can only nitya siddha taste always feelings of union and separation from Radharani, like Raghunath Goswami? So you always taste in sadhaka deha and always taste in siddha deha, or even a sadhaka when obtain prema, he can always, like Raghunath Goswami, taste feelings of separation and union from Radharani.
The experience described of Raghunath Goswami Vilakrishnaji is the experience of a devotee at any sadhana state at the level of prema. Raghunath himself is a nitya siddha associate of Lord Chaitanya and Krishna. But he's showing the example of sadhana siddha in the Vilakrishnaji, how he's hankering for seva by the mercy of Yogamaya and prema. By the mercy of prema itself, Yogamaya, the stock at the level of prema gets the spurti of Leela. And enters Leela does direct sexual seva there, so there. And loses that spurti of field separation. So that's the experience of every prema bhakta.
Yes, but my question is, when the prema bhakta leave the body and go to Goloka,
Okay.
how is that happen? He has always a form in which he can taste this as a sadhaka, eternal, like Raghunath Goswami. He is always Raghunath Goswami and Tulsi Manjari. Is the same even for the sadhaka, or when the sadhaka obtains prema and die, he goes with eternal union of with Radharani. And
I can't follow you. You're going to be lost.
You think?
You know what she's trying to say?
First two times Maharaj also couldn't catch what's point, but third time he finally could understand that means when Sri Raghunath Goswami is Nitya Siddha, he is eternal associate of Sri Radha Krishna. So we know him as Sri Raghunath Goswami, which he remains in one way eternally, like in that form, when he is present here. But then we know he is eternally in eternal realm, in Goloka Vrindavan, he is Tulasi Rati Manjari. But is it then the same with us ordinary sadhakas? Because Srila Raghunath Goswami Rati Tulasi Manjari sadhak roop is Srila Raghunath Goswami in Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Leela. But what about us? We have our sadhak deha, so shall it still
No, we give up. No, the question is.
when we reach the
Yeah.
Siddha deha? Does it have any connection with our Siddha deha? Srila Raghunath Goswami has.
The question is, the sadhaka, when the sadhaka attains stream, he goes to the spiritual world, he doesn't come back to the spiritual world. He gets to sit there as a manjari, that's it, boss. If you're crazy about Gaura Leela, you'll get a Siddha and Gauriya also. Bhagavatas body and Gauriya is Siddha. The spiritual body. Because Gauriya is eternal in the material world. But we Goswamis don't say we come back to the material world. Our goal is to go to Vrindavan and our Manjari Sroop and serve our Krishna. Once. No more Vrindarika. I'm glad. Oh, thank you.
Sadhana Siddha and Nitya Siddha, is there any difference in the after attaining
Question is, is there any difference between the Sankhya Siddha and
Nitya Siddha?
Sadhana Siddha and Nitya Siddha? There's Nitya Siddha Jivas and Sankhya Siddha Jivas, are both Jiva Shakti. But there's also parishads. There's spiritual person, there's living entities like Garuda. It says in Sundar, Garuda is in Vaikuntha, he's a jiva. He's Nitya Siddha jiva. Okay? We're jiva. Tatastha jiva. So Garuda is cited in Sundar, living in Vaikuntha, he's Nitya Siddha jiva. But there's also spiritual personalities and spiritual that aren't jivas. The direct body expansion of the Srupa Shakti of Krishna Radha. Like Asasakis, Asamanjaris, they're all direct expansions of Radha's Kaya Viva Srupa Shakti. They're not Jiva Shakti. So the sadhana, when we become sadhana siddha, tatastha jiva, and nitya siddha jivas are the same. They're both tatastha shaktis. One is eternally liberated, one gets liberated by sadhana. You understand? That's right in Sandaras. Gives the example of Garuda. Garuda is just jiva. He's jiva, tatastha shakti. He's not Srupa Shakti or Krishna. He's jiva shakti. Garuda is Sudarshan, Jai Vijay, all these kind of personalities. You know, a technical question. But these are explained in Sundar also. Some personalities are directly extended from what is called Kaya Viva, or direct body expansion. They're not Tatastha, they're Ladni Shakti, Srupa Shakti. Yeah.
Question from Jayati Chandra. Gurudev, when a devotee feels separation from Krishna, does it show that Krishna also feels separation from the devotee?
When a devotee feels separation from Krishna, does Krishna feel separation from the devotee? Krishna feels separation from the devotee. Yes. So how does he deal with that? How does Krishna deal with his separation from devotees? Krishna sends his representative to liberate those devotees. Because Krishna is thirsty for love. Krishna wants to love his devotee. So he sends the Guru to a conditioned soul who's crying out for Krishna. The devotee feels separation from Krishna. Krishna feels separation from him. So if he feels enough separation from Krishna, Krishna will give his love in the heart of place his love in the heart of the devotee. Then Krishna will relish that love of the devotee and bring that devotee to his side. If you feel enough separation from Krishna, you'll attract the heart of Krishna, and Krishna will place prema in the heart. Prema will come down into the heart. Sri Amshu, like a ray of sunshine. Krishna's love will enter the heart, and they will prepare our heart to be enjoyed by Krishna. And Krishna will bring us to it. Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna says, I am the swift deliverer. The Gita, Krishna says, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. You know that verse? Krishna says in the Gita, I am the swift deliverer.
तेषामहं समुद्रतां रुचि संसार सागरः भवामि न चिरात् मया विसृज्य.
Krishna delivers us from the ocean of samsara.
तेषामहं समुद्र रुचि संसार सागरः.
Richi samsara sagara. Richi samsara sagara. Sagara means ocean of death. Krishna delivers the devotee. First he puts prema, he gets places prema in the heart. Then we serve Krishna with love, and Krishna takes us to Prema Vrindavan. This is how it goes. This is a bright future. Question.
Lamentation is caused by only ignorance nowadays. Lamentation. If someone is lamenting for something in this world, not bhakti, anything material, it is caused because of ignorance.
Yeah.
So then if someone is lamenting, how to empathize with them? Should we say that you are ignorant, or should we empathize in some particular way? How to respond to that situation? If someone is lamenting in our family or in our friend, so how to deal in that exact situation, although we know it is because of ignorance.
Preach chapter 2. Chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita is called Lamentation Chapter, Vishad Yoga. And chapter 2 is called
Arjuna Vishad Yoga. Arjuna Vishad Yoga.
That's chapter 1. Chapter 2 is called what?
Sankhya.
Chapter 2.
Sankhya.
Sankhya Yoga. So preach Sankhya Yoga. Preach chapter 2 to remove their lamentation. Because lamentation is based on ignorance. Because that's what Krishna did. Krishna preached chapter 2 of Gita to remove the lamentation of Arjuna. So if someone is suffering from lamentation, we should try to remove the help for people who are suffering, your relatives, you should try to remove, express your love and compassion to help them. That's common practice. It's called humanity. We don't like someone to suffer. We like to help people by giving knowledge, giving love, giving help, giving understanding. Talk to them. Ask them why they're lamenting, why they're suffering. Try to bring reason and love and compassion. Help your fellow human beings. There's a struggle for existence. There's great suffering, great misery in life. So we should try to help each other. Spread love as much as possible. Show love, be love, and distribute love. In any form, any way. It's always good to help people. First Radha Kunda. The having of the rain, we're getting a lot of worm seed. They're all in happy mood. Then when you have a big feast, you start talking a lot. When human beings eat a good feast, after they finish it, talk so much. The birds are eating a big feast now. All kinds of worms and bugs. They're usually it's pretty quiet around here. Pete Bolanande Bhaji Radha Govinde. Pete Bolanande. When your belly is full, you can worship Radha Govinda. Pete Bole. Bola means full. Pete Bole Anand. Bhaji Radha Govinda. The birds are full. Sing. Question. Any more questions? What time is it now?
4:58.
Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe!